So here we are approaching the Pacifica Garden. I've made a video of the garden before, I guess about a year ago. Trina, when did you buy your house?
Just over a year ago in June.
In June, okay. So that video was made in June. Things were really wild in the garden. This year has been really wet. So it's been, everything's kind of fungusy and looking maybe not so nice, especially at this time of year. So over here we have a big cistern for capturing rainwater. I'm not sure where it actually captures it from, but that's nice because then we can water the garden with rainwater from, of course, a solar-driven pump, which is the only thing that Pacifica would stand for. And here we have a big deer fence. This is probably 8 or 10 feet tall to keep the deer out, and actually some Pacifica members are working hard at redoing the base of the fence because we've had problems with rabbits getting in, so you can see somebody's working very hard. And cats, that's right. Very inventive cats. So here's the Pacifica Garden. The way the garden works is that you can sign up for a garden bed at the beginning of the year and say, I would like to have this garden bed. And to date, there's never been a problem where there have been more people wanting beds than there are actually beds. And as you can see, some of these are maybe a bit neglected and weedy. But over here we have a raspberry patch. There's a pawpaw tree that might actually even have a pawpaw in it, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go back and investigate that later. And a pawpaw is a native fruit, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar. There's somebody growing Chinese long beans, and there's this red flower that comes up that we don't really know what it is, but it's pretty cool looking. And some zinnias and marigolds. The tomatoes have had a really bad year, so everybody's tomatoes look pretty much like trash. There's somebody growing corn, some sunflowers that have passed their prime. And this is the one of the 3 garden beds that Trina and I maintain. There's our tomatoes, which are I guess about 6 feet tall, and the bottom 5.5 feet are all dead, but they're still putting out tomatoes, which I think is pretty darn generous of them. I'm going to step in Bobby's. Is this Bobby's bed?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to step in Bobby's bed because she's not using it, to show you these lovely vines that we don't know what they are. We think they're maybe a sweet potato. And then there's some more sweet potatoes down here, some indeterminate variety. We have peppers, a dead tomato. What else is there? There's string beans, the peppers,
yeah,
and some cucumbers.
Also a little dead.
Yeah. It's, like I said, it's been a tough year.
We have a nice weed here.
We have a nice weed actually. That's probably the healthiest thing in the garden. So we're pretty proud of that. Even though we didn't plant it, we'll take credit for it. And there's Trina trying not to fall in the garden bed.
Volunteers here.
Are they volunteers?
Yeah.
So in other words, another thing we didn't plant that's doing really well. So you can sort of see a theme here. Yeah, so I guess maybe we haven't got too much else to show you in the garden. Well, I guess actually I should point out that over here this is a giant asparagus bed that you're looking at. That's what asparagus turns into if you don't harvest it. It's about 6 feet tall and robust. We haven't tried to mess with it, which is probably why it's doing so well. I'll take a shortcut through our garden bed here and show you the rest of the garden. Oh, somebody's got some really lovely eggplants growing here. Ouch. And yeah, this is maybe getting to the wilder side of the garden. There's the asparagus with lots of asparagus seeds on there, if I can show you what these are. These will eventually turn into asparaguses. So, asparagus? Yeah, I'm not sure. And there's another pawpaw tree. Beautiful pokeweed, which, if you don't know what it is actually a weed, but the berries are good for wildlife, but they're poisonous to people. And then there's let's see, more sweet potatoes, and oh look, more sweet potatoes. So yeah, that's about the Pacifica Garden. There's a field back there that sometimes people play ball in and stuff like that. Oh yeah, you can see my house from here. That's a good point. Thanks. So there's the house on the end, orange one with the 2 solar panels on top that are cranking out some extremely hot water. So this is probably as much view as you'll get to see of the front, because the front is completely overgrown with a giant butterfly bush. So I think that's it. That's the video of the new house. Trina, do you want to say goodbye? Trina says bye-bye, and I'll say adios amigos. Bye-bye.